History remembers kings, empires, and armies, but sometimes it remembers miracles. This is the forgotten legend of how 800 Norse warriors, trapped in a frozen fjord, defeated an army of 40,000 enemies. A battle so impossible, so terrifying, and so brilliantly executed that it became known in Norse songs as the day Odin walked among us. The year is 874 AD. In the far north, deep inside the icy fjords of Norway, stood the settlement of Jarnfell, home of a fierce chieftain, Jarl Eirik Skallagrimsson, a towering man with a braided beard, respected for his courage and feared for his merciless intelligence. For years, Eirik's 800 warriors raided the coasts of Britain and Francia. Their longships returned with silver, weapons, and slaves. But on one winter morning, a scout arrived breathlessly. "The Southmen are coming, all of them." The kingdom of Northumbria, seeking revenge for Viking raids, had formed an alliance with 3 coastal tribes and a mercenary army. They marched with 40,000 infantry, 3,000 archers, 1,200 cavalry, several siege engines, and their objective was clear: wipe the Norse from the earth. When Jarl Eirik gathered the 800 warriors in the Great Hall, panic filled the air. Warrior 1, 40,000. We cannot fight this. Warrior 2, we must flee. Eirik slammed his axe into the wooden table, cracking it in half. Jarl Eirik, we are Norsemen. We do not flee. We make them bleed. But inside, Eirik knew the truth. 800 against 40,000 is suicide, unless they fought a different kind of war. Eirik studied the terrain. The fjord was narrow, covered in ice, surrounded by towering cliffs, with only one path wide enough for an army. Eirik saw what no one else did. The land itself will be our weapon. He formed a master plan: force the enemy into the narrow path, break the ice beneath them, create avalanches using fire and sound, turn the fjord into a death trap. His warriors doubted him, but they trusted him. After all, Norse survival depended on brilliant, ruthless strategy. Day 1. The invaders arrive. 40,000 men approached the fjord, confident and well-fed. Their commanders laughed at the idea of barbarian resistance, but the narrow fjord made their numbers useless. Only 200 men could march side by side. Day 2. The Norse begin the ambush. Eirik ordered his men to hide on the cliffs, cut giant boulders loose, prepare barrels of whale fat, set fires along the ice cracks. What the enemy didn't know was that the fjord's ice was thin in certain places. Eirik's plan was perfect. The battle begins. The enemy army entered the fjord in columns. Thousands marched across the frozen surface. They saw nothing, heard nothing, suspected nothing. Then, a single horn blast echoed across the cliffs. Boom! A massive boulder crashed from above, smashing into the front lines. Chaos erupted. Before the enemy could regroup, Eirik shouted the command, "Fire the fat!" Norsemen poured flaming whale fat into pre-cut cracks in the ice. The ice ignited in bright orange flames. Then it happened. Crack! The entire center of the fjord collapsed. 10,000 men fell into freezing black water. Armor dragged them down. Horses drowned instantly. Screams echoed off the cliffs. Those on land watched in horror as their comrades vanished beneath the ice. Avalanche-attacked Norsemen lit the cliffside fires. The heat triggered melting. Tons of snow and rock cascaded downward, killing thousands more. The enemy army panicked. Some tried to climb the cliffs. Arrows cut them down. Some tried to retreat. only to be crushed by the soldiers behind them. Eric's 800 didn't fight with muscle. They fought with nature. After the ice trap killed over 20,000, Eric sounded the war horn again. The Norsemen charged. Norse berserkers roared and crashed into scattered enemy pockets. Shield maidens stabbed through broken lines. Axe throwers took down commanders. The enemy was demoralized, cold, terrified. They had witnessed a nightmare beyond imagination. They believed the Norse had summoned the gods. Only after 5 hours of brutal combat did the enemy collapse entirely. Those who survived fled back south, never to return. The next morning, the fjord was silent. Bodies frozen in the ice, armor reflecting the rising sun, the smell of smoke drifting in icy air. The 800 Norsemen gathered around their Jarl. Only 39 had died. It was the greatest military miracle anyone had ever seen. Jarl Eirik. Tell the world, the North does not bow. And so they did. Songs were sung, stories spread, and the battle became legend. The day 800 defeated 40,000. This victory was not magic, not gods, not luck. The Norse won because of terrain control, engineering genius, psychological warfare, perfect timing, fearless discipline. This is how 800 warriors changed history, one frozen fjord at a time. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more hidden battles, lost empires, and legends history forgot. Comment below, which ancient battle should we uncover next?